you have trouble with string crossings when it comes to alternate picking, I have a really good practice technique for you. This is a technique that Rick Graham swears by. He actually called it in one of his videos his most important practice technique, or something like it. I'm kind of paraphrasing. It's also one of the staple practice techniques in classical guitar, but it's very applicable to the electric, as I'm gonna show you today. Now you can apply this to anything that you're practicing, but I just came up with this short arpeggio thing that we're gonna apply it to. And arpeggios are great because you're really gonna work on a lot of the string crossings here. And when it comes to the actual technique though, I would probably play this with sweep picking if I want to play it really fast. So it's not about speed here, it's just having something, you know, slightly melodic to apply this technique to, and also get all the benefits from working on arpeggios. So the whole arpeggio thing sounds like this. Alright, so it sounds like that, and you definitely shouldn't practice it at that tempo, and it's not really about getting it up to any type of speed here either. It's, like I said, all about having something slightly more melodic to practice, instead of the usual stuff you tend to get from me with all the systematic, you know, drive your wife / girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, crazy. And yourself as well, actually. But we start here in A minor, and you have the tabs available. You can check that out on my Patreon, link in the description. And we have this A minor arpeggio, which no one actually likes to play because you have a lot of rolling here. And then we move up to the next inversion. And we go into this diminished chord. Move up, same way again. And then we go back to the previous inversion of A minor, move up to the next one. More diminished chords. Another one. That leads us back to the starting note or the root of the key, A. But you want to hit that with the pinky. So from here you're gonna go down in an A minor add 9 arpeggio. So you're just gonna go. And then to end it, we're gonna go. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So that ends up on the beat. So all this is going to be played with 16-note triplets or 8-note triplets. Either works when you actually want to sort of play it to make it sound like something. But when you practice it, you want to do it this way instead. And this is where this whole practice technique comes in. And this practice technique is called planting. And basically it means that you prepare the pick on basically before every note you're gonna play. So you gotta, if I start here on the first note here, I'm gonna start with the pick on the string ready to play. So when I play that, and I immediately prepare the next pick stroke. So in a way you're gonna be a bit ahead with your right hand, but it's not really gonna screw up your synchronization, so don't worry about that. It's just gonna help you get a way more efficient right hand. And another thing here is that when you do this, you do it so quickly, so you're gonna notice that if you do something movement-wise that doesn't work, you will find out pretty quickly, because then you will hit another string or it won't sound good. And this is also something you could try practicing with a clean sound or no sound at all. Because when you do it with distortion, you get a lot of this type of sound, which can be a bit annoying, but I would still try to try it with distortion as well. So if I play this arpeggio with this technique, then it's gonna sound like this. Now you might notice when you try this yourself that when you actually go from one note to the next here, the note's going to be short. But as you go here, unless you shorten it with the left hand, it's going to ring out. But you want to shorten it with the left hand so it sounds even with the sort of muted notes you get when you're on the same string with the right hand. And this is going to help you with your articulation when it comes to arpeggios overall. So this will really help your sweep technique as well. So when I do this, I try to keep all the notes uniform in terms of length. You see my right hand there? It can't really be any more efficient for the way that I pick, at least, because I'm going straight to the next note the whole time and preparing. So naturally you want to do this at a slow tempo, especially in the beginning, because it can be quite tricky at first. So this is just a practice technique, so don't worry that it doesn't sound very good in the moment since all the notes are cut short, but it's gonna really help you with your right hand technique. So I really suggest that you give this a try. And like I said, Rick Graham swears by this. And I also have heard Paul Gilbert do it a lot in different instructional things where he shows something and then he would show it like this. Right, so I believe he's been practicing like that as well, because it's kind of a weird thing to do that randomly that many times. And I've heard it in his official instructional videos, from these bootleg open counseling tapes and all kinds of things. So it's definitely a thing that he's been doing, but he hasn't really talked about. So and maybe he hasn't really thought about why he's doing it, but it's a very helpful practice technique. So give that a try for sure. And you know, if you want to apply this to any type of scale, you just do the same thing. So if we do a C major scale, for example, 3 notes per string. So try this on anything that you've had trouble with, especially if it's something that you've sort of identified that is tricky string crossings, because it can be a game changer when it comes to that stuff. So don't expect miracles though, but it's a very, very good way of practicing, and I feel results pretty quickly when I do this. So it's a good thing to just try to incorporate in your daily practice. And then another thing you can try to do is, if you're practicing something and you're like, well, I don't want to spend all my time doing this, well, maybe just incorporate it into your normal practice. So let's say you're working on like a random picking exercise, right? So then you can do every other time, maybe you do it. And so on. So you can incorporate it in that way and sort of give yourself a reminder that it's good to be more efficient in the right hand. If you're still watching at this point and you're not a subscriber, you either fell asleep or hopefully you like what I'm doing here. So press that subscribe button so you're sure not to miss any of my lessons. Back in the day, I used to have real issues with fast alternate picking when it came to 2 notes per string. I was fine with 3 notes per string, but the 2 notes per string thing was a bit harder to crack. So if you struggle with fast alternate picking as well, and you don't know what to practice or for how long, I've created the perfect solution for you in the form of the Pentatonic Picking Power Book. So in this book, you'll find a daily workout that will not only help your pentatonic picking, but will also upgrade your overall alternate picking technique. So it contains basically the same exercises I used myself to develop my picking abilities, as well as numerous students over the years that I've given the same exercise to with great results. So I know these exercises work as long as you put in the work. So it's not a quick solution or quick fix. It will still take a lot of work, but at least you have a very easy to follow routine. So if you're up for a big alternate picking upgrade in 2024, I cannot think of a better start.